Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. And today we're going to be meeting some artists, and I do mean that literally because we have an artist in the studio with us today, and she is Brittany Box, the artist. Box. She is participating in the Meet the Artist event at the Indianapolis Public Library in downtown Indianapolis. And joining us as well, Nichelle Hayes, who is the African American History Committee. You are over that and the
Center for Black Literature and Culture, which is at Central Library at 40 East St. Clair.
That's a long title. Welcome to Inside Indy.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Man, you guys have been doing this for a long time.
This is actually our 32nd year.
32nd.
And Tony Radford is our artist and curator. It was his brainchild 32 years ago. And it's been going gangbusters ever since. So we're very excited.
It's grown and grown. I can remember interviewing him years ago about this. So, and I wonder, you know, back then, did he ever dream that it could be what it is now? Because it's taken on a life of its own, in a sense.
He's definitely been a visionary. He definitely wanted to bring artists together. He wanted to give them a profile and a platform, and he's been able to do that. He's been working really, really hard, and now it kind of works itself as far as people reaching out to him. We've been able to really get people out there on the national level, so it's very exciting, and I'm proud to be a part of the African American History Committee.
Okay, so take us to the actual event, what we can expect, because it's really like a month-long celebration.
Couple of months, actually. So.
Wow.
The art will be on display from January 29th through March 29th.
Oh, wow.
And that will be happening at Central Library, which is 40 East St. Clair, downtown. It's free and open to the public. It's definitely a family event, so you can bring your kids and everything in between, elders, everyone's welcome, and the art is spread throughout the building. So we take up almost a block and a half.
Wow.
As far as the space of Central Library. So it will be in the tower. It will also be in the Cray, which is the original portion of the building. It'll be in the Simon Reading Room. It'll be in the Center for Black Literature and Culture. So art will be everywhere. And then our gala is February 8th, which is a Saturday. And that's the day where you can come, you can see the fashion show, you can meet artists like Box the Artist here. And it's just an amazing, amazing event.
Okay. And when you say the art is displayed throughout the building, so when you go to that particular section on the night of the event, is the artist there with their art? How does that work when you're touring?
Yes, artists are there, so you can kind of talk to them, see what their motivation is. If you wanted to purchase a piece, that's definitely something
nice.
you can do. So it's a great time to kind of get up close and personal.
Okay. Now, tell us about the entertainment and what you have going on. You mentioned somebody on a national level coming in this year?
Well, our guest speaker for this year is Tamika Catchings, and we're
out.
very excited about that. She's been a big supporter of the Center for Black Literature and Culture, and she is featured prominently in our room. We partner with her for Catch the Stars and her backpack event that she has every summer. So she's going to be speaking, and we're very, very excited about that.
Okay. Do you have food too, right?
We definitely have food, so there'll be something for everyone to eat. We already talked about the fashion show. We'll have the drummers to drum us in. We're going to honor someone that's near and dear to our hearts in the community. We're going to kind of keep that a secret until that evening, but there's a lot to see. And it's kind of almost a mini family reunion for people, because you're like running around doing your own thing, and then you don't see each other, but everybody comes together for Meet the Artist and for the gala. And so that name is kind of a misnomer. So you'll have people dressed to after 5 all the way to t-shirt and jeans and everything in between. So feel free to come however you're comfortable. And like I said, bring the family. We'll have we have face painting.
Oh, nice.
And so that'll be happening for the kids in the learning curve. So there'll really be something for everybody.
Okay. Now, of course, when you attend Meet the Artist, you're going to meet Brittany Box the Artist box, and that first box has a double X.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about what we can expect from you at Meet the Artist?
All right, well, I have quite a few different things going on for that evening. So I'll be displaying art, and my main medium is acrylic, and I do a mixed medium as well. And I've also been working more recently with digital art. So I'll have a little bit of everything on display across that intersection of different forms of art, and being able to cover just my area of interest, which is the African diaspora, connected to pop culture, connected to my personal experiences, connected to things where people can relate and identify on some type of level. So you'll definitely be able to see a few pieces from myself. I'll also be hosting a workshop as well in the learning curve area where the face painting will be. So I'll be doing a painting experience. I own a company, it's called Authentic Fit LLC. So it's basically a creative arts company, and it's where I can interact with different organizations, community organizations, schools, nonprofits, businesses, corporations, and actually come in and integrate art on some type of level. I specifically focus on areas where there's a lack or not quite as much access to art. So when I'm able to network and communicate with different organizations, I can fill that gap and identify, okay, areas where I can fill art in, and then people can have that interactive experience and engage creatively. It'll brighten the environment and just bring a breath of fresh air and creativity to the atmosphere. So I'll be doing that at Meet the Artist from 6 to 8. It's free, open to the public, first come, first serve. So definitely invite everyone out to experience that and engage with me as well.
All right. Well, let's engage with some of your work here. So now, what are we seeing here? And let's start with the one that's directly behind you. That's kind of now has become the centerpiece of our set. Actually, some people have even said we should buy that.
You should.
So, let me guess. Now it just hit me who that is. That's Beyonce.
Yes.
And
yes,
Jay-Z.
Yes, that piece is called.
Ding ding.
It's called The Carters. I created that piece last year for the Indiana Black Expo and that exhibit. So that piece, it represents for me Black wealth, and it kind of intersects different things as far as the socioeconomic status of African Americans and the level and height in which the Black community is deemed to access or have access to. So I chose that piece because it's heavily identifiable within pop culture. People my age can relate. People all ages can relate because people know Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Right, right.
I just wanted to call attention to Black wealth and just highlight it and then redefine fine art. So when you look at fine art, we think of those oil paintings, we think of the Michelangelos, but do we see our faces? And I chose to kind of deep dive up into that exhibit, and that was one of the highlighting pieces. People loved it, and just thought it would be a good addition to bring in today.
Yeah, it is very eye-catching. Now, what is in the background there? There's a picture of a picture.
Yes, it is the best way that I could not plagiarize the Mona Lisa. So they're actually standing in front of the Mona Lisa. This is a recreation of an original picture, of a video. So
Okay.
a screenshot of a video where they recorded a music video in front of the Mona Lisa. So to have that prestige and access to be able to do something of that nature and to that stature, that's unheard of,
Okay.
So I chose that and use those two iconic people and just to deep dive into that area, that aspect of Black wealth, and to let people know, that things are attainable for people of color and for people that look like us.
Okay, so art that inspires.
And that feeds right into our theme this year, and our theme is Afrofuturism. So Afrofuturism is projecting us into the future, sometimes with sci-fi themes, but it's also bringing in Black culture. And so what she's doing with that piece is a direct correlation to that. So we're very excited. We'll also have books on display that speak to the Afrofuturism theme. We've got a local artist, a local author, Maurice brought us, and we'll have his books on display. So we're very, very excited about this year's event.
Very nice, okay. We'll look at a couple of other pieces. This one here, what do we have there?
Yeah, so this piece is called Bathwater. and it's connected to a series that I did pertaining to access to clean water. And I know you was just mentioning earlier about just these warnings that they've been having lately for water.
Oh, yeah.
And I come from a community where, you know, there are neighborhoods that were literally displaced completely because of lead in the waters and pushing people out of the neighborhoods, out of the communities. So this piece, as well as another piece that I have in the studio as well, those two are on display. It's called the Water Series. And it highlights just different aspects. If you look closely in the water, in the canvas, you can see two black bodies, and it represents children in the bathtub. But next to the bathtub, you see gallons of water. So it's just kind of bringing attention to the crises that we experience in our communities and Black communities, and just that displacement that can occur, and simple luxuries that we don't even consider, like being able to take a shower, you know, with running water and not gallons of water. So that's something that affects my community where I come from. I'm from Gary, Indiana, and surrounding communities as well. You know, we've had several different warnings not to drink the water. You can't drink it, you still have to bathe in it unless you're boiling it. So that's just things that are important to me, important to my community as well, and I try to capture that within my art.
Very nicely done, very nicely done. Well, if we could, we're just almost out of time, but want to wrap up details of the big event. So Nichelle, if you could go over the details with us again for
Sure.
Meet the Artists.
So Meet the Artists is going to run from January 29th through March 29th, and that's going to be at Central Library, 40 East St. Clair. It's open anytime the library is open, and we're open 7 days a week. The gala is going to be February the 8th, and that's from 5:30 to 10. And so we're excited about everybody coming. Again, it's a family event. We also want to thank the Crystal DeHaan Family Foundation and the Indianapolis Public Library Foundation. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. We would not be able to highlight these wonderful artists.
Okay, we thank them. And we thank you both for joining us on
Thank you.
Inside Indy, and looking forward to the big event. All right. This is Inside Indy. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get fit. I promise, after this.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She carried 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
And we're back here on Inside Indy, and February is fast approaching, and February is Heart Month. And here are some interesting statistics about having a healthy heart, or the lack thereof. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for men, women, and most ethnic groups. 1 person dies every 37 seconds in the U.S. from heart disease. 647,000 Americans die from heart disease each year. And obviously, that's a serious problem, and here to provide one of several solutions to combating heart disease and beyond is Robin Boone, who is the president of Soul Cycle 317, right?
Yes.
Welcome to Inside Indy.
Thank you for having me.
And then we have with her Felicia Barnes,
Yes.
who's a soul cyclist.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't know this, but Robin and I went to high school together.
Yes.
Go Rockets.
Yes.
Okay. And so when I bumped into her recently, she was telling me about Soul Cycle 317. And so tell us what it is, where it is, and what you do.
Okay, Soul Cycle 317 is a cycling class, and not just we just don't cycle. We also lift weights while we're on the bikes. So we're
Wow.
basically getting our cardio in for our hearts, strengthening our hearts, and then getting the endurance, also toning.
Wow.
So yeah, we do everything on the bike.
So while you're on the bike, you've got what, hand weights?
Hand
Tell me
weights.
about this weightlifting,
Yeah,
how that happens.
we have small hand weights where we're lifting weights and doing bicep curls and overhead press.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice. So it's like killing two birds with one
Right,
stone.
exactly.
Okay, okay. Now, Felicia, you're nodding your head. So do you do the weight training with it as well?
Absolutely. It's a total body workout. The cardiovascular, the strength training, the endurance. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I enjoy it and continue to go.
Okay. So now if someone comes to the class, and again, we were earlier talking about heart disease, and so I'm thinking this is certainly a good way to keep that situation under control or to fight heart diseases. Obviously staying active, exercise, whether you're running, walking, cycling, spinning, as you
Right.
described it. But if someone were to start cycling, what happens typically when you come into the class? Because to be honest, it scares me to death because the first thing I see myself is just being completely winded. You say what?
We say that take your time, do your best. You know, you don't try to keep up with anybody else. Don't try to keep up with the instructor. Just do what you can do. That's what I tell everybody.
Okay.
And we also have people that come in and have bad knees.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good for their knees as well. Well, they can just get
Bad
on the bike
knees
and
is
just
good for your
cycle.
knees.
Yeah, it's good for your knees. They have, bad knees. They say my knees hurt, but when they ride, their knees start to feel better as they continue to come. Yeah.
So how does that, what do you think is improving there if the knee is bad? What's going on with the cycling that makes it better?
It's getting more lubrication and moving more.
Okay. Probably strengthening too, I
Yeah,
would think.
strengthening the tendons.
And it's not a whole lot of pressure. I think because we're up and down on the bike and we're doing things on the handlebars and different things, so you're not having rigorous jarring to the knees.
Okay, so a lot of the weight then, when you're actually on the bike, you're not even carrying it.
Right.
Like when you're running or walking,
Yeah.
all 100% of your weight from the knees up is
Correct.
pressing down on that area.
Right.
But you're right, when you're sitting down, you're just moving this
Right.
part without having to take the load of your torso, so to speak. Okay.
And you expressed some of the same concerns I had when I first started attending as far as like, will I be able to keep up and that type of thing. But it is such a welcoming environment. It's a shame-free environment, a judgment-free environment. You start where you are. And you're right, at first they would go on and I would have to take breaks and different things, but I just kept going. And the more you go, the more you can do the routine, the more you see your endurance build up. And so to see from beginning to where I am now is just quite amazing at your transformation, even in a short period of time.
You mentioned the routine, so give me some highlights of the routine.
They change.
What does Robin take you through?
We do a lot of standing up on the bike, but I encourage you if
You stand up on the bike?
while we're riding, yeah. We do a lot of standing up. We do push-ups on the handlebars. We do a lot of arm movements.
I just got that IMPD
Yeah,
motorcyclist
so-
thing in my mind.
Not on the seat.
And it's a lot of fun. Yeah, not like that. But
Okay.
yeah, we're standing up out of the saddle, the seat, the saddle. Standing up out of that, riding. We do that a lot.
Wow, okay. Okay.
And it helps you have a little rhythm.
Yeah.
Because you have to kind of move to the rhythm of the beat of the songs.
Right.
A lot of good music.
Okay. So is that where the soul part comes from?
Right. We
Soul
play,
cycle.
R&B and
Okay.
and a little bit of rock every now and then. But yeah, soul music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Soul cycle.
Right. Yeah.
317. I love it. I love it. So now we see on television all the time these commercials with, is it Peloton?
Yeah, the Peloton commercial.
Do you know much about that and what that whole movement is?
I don't know what their movement is, but we ride differently. Then they're more of a sit-down type, stand up, straight, and ride type thing. We got more of a swag to our riding.
I have
Yeah.
got to see this. Because you're saying you're standing up, but I guess when I'm thinking if I'm standing up.
You're still in the pedals.
Okay.
You're standing up off of the seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems hard. I mean, because it's like once your foot goes down to bring it back up when you've got that much weight going down, it would just seem like it's. And I know you do that even on your bike when you were a kid.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I
You
was
know how you
thinking
have those,
about.
like you're trying to
Yeah.
speed it up,
Yeah.
Right,
and you're
that's what you
riding, and
do.
all of a sudden you're like, I
Stand
gotta
up.
go. You go
Yeah.
shoot, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
And you don't stand up for 10 minutes. You stand up for a period, sit down. Some songs last longer than others where you may be standing
Right.
up for a period of time. And then the pace changes. Sometimes, the rhythm of the song is faster, and then other times it's slower. Then you might increase your resistance.
Okay.
For some of the
it's like
slower songs.
interval changing.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Yeah.
trying to say? Okay, interval cycling, so to speak, because that really challenges your heart. They say that's the best thing for you,
Yeah.
especially for diabetes. So what made you start this business? Because I know in high school she was a cheerleader, and I know she still cheers at home. And if I can find a picture of her in her cheerleading outfit, I'm going to put it on TV. But what got you into the cycling business?
I thought I was a little overweight because I always been small. So,
You have all,
yeah,
you
I
were a
was.
tiny thing. You're still tiny.
Yeah,
so
I am now because I lost about 45 pounds.
Are you, shut up,
Yeah.
you lying.
I lost some weight doing this, so I believed in it. I went to the Y and went to a class and fell in love with it. So I decided to get some bikes and put them in my basement and start a business. So that's where I started at, in my basement. And then
Wow.
I wanted to grow out of the basement so I could have more variety and more people, because I didn't think I want everybody in my house.
Yeah.
So I got out of the house and I'm in a fitness facility now,
Okay,
personal training facility.
okay, which is where?
It's at 5134 East 65th Street.
So near
It's called-
65th
yeah.
and
Benford.
Benford, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we didn't mind going to her house because it was
How'd you
actually
get-
a fun
Yeah.
environment. It was almost like a party environment. She had the strobe light, and so since I was first going, I kind of liked that the lights were dim, so everybody didn't see what level I was in.
Right.
So it was still a nice environment.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but how did you do it in your home? Like you had that many bikes?
I started out with 3 bikes just to see if anybody really wanted to come and do it, see how this worked out. Then I bought 2 more bikes. Then I had to move out of the basement. But like she was saying, at the house, we were in the basement and we had strobe lights and turned the lights out, and it was like really cool environment. But at the facility that I'm at now, we can't turn the lights out because there's other people in there. But I think everyone's gotten used to the lights being on now. And the ones
Okay.
who've never been to my house, they don't know what it was like before, but Felicia
Yeah,
does. She remembers
Right.
it.
Discoing and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
black lights and
Fun, yeah. We also have ride parties as well. The ride parties in the facility.
Riot parties?
Ride parties.
ride parties. Okay.
Yeah. They're usually on Friday or Saturday. Felicia has booked one before, and she invited 7 of her friends or 8 of her friends to ride the bikes, and then we were able to turn the lights out because I specify a particular time I'm going to be there, so no one else is in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So now, so from home, obviously you've grown. So how many people do you have in your class now?
I'll have 8 bikes.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
the first class, we have class at 6 p.m. and 7:15 p.m.
Okay. so
6
different
p.m.,
times,
yeah,
different-
has
okay.
been pretty full here recently.
So do you
With the
do this
first of the
every
year.
day?
Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and every
Okay.
other Saturday.
And how long do you go for?
1 hour,
Okay.
6 o'clock
So
and 7:15.
you mentioned your weight loss. So did it just come from cycling? And
It
what-
came from cycling, and at the same time, I was also doing Zumba, and I was training myself 4 days a week. So I was lifting, eating right, and Zumba and cycling.
So what were you eating wrong? Because I cannot see her. I know her from high school, so I can't see you 45 pounds heavier.
I was doing I was working a lot, so I was just eating on the go.
Eating what?
Eating burgers and
We
hot
like
dogs.
burgers. But- so you don't eat burgers anymore?
I try not to eat beef, and I don't buy pork.
Okay. Are you a vegetarian, vegan?
No.
Just certain things you
Yeah,
avoid?
certain things, yeah. I eat mostly fish and chicken, vegetables and fruit.
Rice, pasta, bread? Are
No
you
bread.
one of those keto people?
No bread, no sweets. I don't care for sweets, but
I do.
Let's talk to Felicia. Okay, so now how has it impacted your life, Felicia?
I mean, it's just been the biggest change of my life. You know, like many women after having children, that's when I began to struggle with weight. And I tried different things, going to the gym on my own, and I have a treadmill at home. But there's something about the group dynamic that's just very captivating. And it's a group, but then also it kind of feels one-on-one because, you know, she's monitoring you even as she's teaching you. She may call your name out and say, come on, one more set, or keep going. And there are even times after class she'll send me a message, an encouraging message saying, oh, I saw that, you know, you finished the whole set or something like that. So it's a group dynamic, but then it's also one-on-one and just the power of women being together. So
All right, the
it's
Power
just
Hour
amazing.
at Soul Cycle 317. We're out of time. I just have 30 seconds left, so we're going to put the information, location on the screen. And how can people sign up if they want to Soul Cycle?
They can sign up on my website, soulcyclercb.com. Also, I have an Instagram page and a Facebook page. They're both Soul Cycle 317.
Okay.
And also, before we go, I wanted to mention my instructors. I have 2 instructors that work for me. Their names are Destiny Barber and Shantae Isaac.
Okay, a shout out to them.
Excellent.
All right, and a shout out to the both of you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On Inside Indy. And thank you for joining us. I'm Kelly Vaughn. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.